You're under surveillance, sir. Sir, are you with Flock?
What?
Are you with Flock?
No, there's a construction firm I work with, CSB.
This man, James Boyce, is a former British Army veteran and a current Flock supply chain manager. Not only did he lie about working for Flock, which I'm guessing is probably normal at this company, but he also implied to Georgia law enforcement that I could have been armed, and we'll soon see if that puts my life in danger.
You're gonna wait here until the manager talks to you.
You're holding me until that guy talks, but you're not telling me if I'm going to be detained. Yeah, you are. Am I allowed to leave? Can I go in my car and leave? Are you safe right now, sir?
We've had reports that you've been to basically every Flock safety site and facility that you know of. And
Correct.
Yeah, so
Your surveillance is correct. We're doing our own surveillance.
so people don't really feel safe right now with people randomly trying to get into our sites and buildings.
Oh, wait, you don't
Also
feel
holding
safe being
products.
surveilled. Is that what you're saying?
Not at all, sir.
Because that's what you guys do to us without our consent.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting when you guys have this happen, you call the police and make us get stopped.
I think that this is a really, really excellent idea. Give them a taste of their own medicine. They don't like being surveilled. We don't like being surveilled, so just surveil them and create an obvious depiction of a double standard going on in society. It's not that hard. It's like, hey, look, like you want to surveil us all the time, we're going to surveil you all the time. Whoever wants peace should prepare for war. So if the people of the United States want to not live their lives as slaves under constant surveillance, then it is necessary for them to make that outcome not desirable for the people who currently desire it, which is going to look like creating consequences. And I don't know what those consequences should be, but this is a good first step to making that happen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, why don't you guys have any clothes on?
Oh, what the heck?
College campus. Well, it's a college campus. You're like half naked. What's going on here? That's a real question. Wait.
So I saw a ton of this at UMass Amherst. One time I was driving down the street with a friend of mine in the middle of the winter, and we're like a mile from any building. It's blizzard out, and I see two girls dressed exactly like that. And I'm like, do you guys need a ride? And they're like, we have a boyfriend. I was like, okay, die then, I guess. Yeah, it was a blizzard in Massachusetts. They were dressed like that. It's crazy. I always just call that outfit Hoe is Life.
How do I explain to a caveman that the modern bikini was created to cause destruction and sexualize women? See, the modern bikini as we know it was created in 1946 by Jewish engineer Louis Reard. And at first, no one would wear the bikini because it exposed the navel. So out of desperation, Louis hired 19-year-old stripper Micheline Bernardini to market his product, and this decision caused massive global uproar. But it took another complete decade for the public to take up this look, finally becoming popular during the second wave of feminism in the 1960s, being adopted by surfers and the youth, as well as being pushed in mainstream culture like movies and music. This is the perfect example of how new standards are created in the culture. Marketing and propaganda can literally change the entire landscape of the world as we know it.
So his information about the origin of the bikini is accurate, but if you're a young man trying to find yourself a young, beautiful woman to be with for the rest of your life and to make a family with, you don't want to be leading with that, because a lot of the time they're just wearing it because it's popular, and it's sort of like you can't necessarily evaluate a woman on her chastity based off of what she's wearing if the culture is as our culture is. It's an indicator, but you more want to the fact that they reacted so badly was a really strong indicator that they were brain dead harlots that you would not want to interact with. So I think be aware of these things, but you don't want to lead with this with women, because also though, here's if you really want to undermine the feminist BS, just find yourself your perfect 10 out of 10. You want to write down a list of everything you want in a woman, everything, 300 attributes. Find a woman who meets 90% of those things. You know, like it's a really powerful technique. Write down the list, you'll find your wife. Write down the list, find that woman, and then be happy with her. And then that will drive all the feminists insane. And like just happy women who aren't being made to be slaves are the best counterexample to feminism that has ever existed.
Right here. This boomer comic has been making the rounds on Facebook for at least a decade, and it portrays a brave older Marine in a coffee shop where the barista says, "Can I interest you in a soy latte?" He says, "No, just coffee, black." Caramel macchiato? Just coffee, black. Iced peppermint mocha? Just coffee, black. Frappe? Now, the first thing you'll notice is that this scenario has never occurred once anywhere in the history of the world. And if you say, well, yeah, but it's just a joke, I'm saying the thing that it's exaggerating has never occurred. But the perception of the world that caused the artist to create this and motivated people to share this millions of times is incredibly important. Because in reality, no one ever took his black coffee from him. Every shop like this has black coffee. He can also get it at any gas station or any McDonald's drive-thru or from home. All that happened is the range of options for other people expanded, and he perceived that as persecution, as his choice having been taken away. This is not political. This is a human nature thing. Most people are not satisfied to simply have the option to live their life the way they want. They also want to feel normal. They want to walk around.
This is where I disagree. I think it has more to do with the fact that we want to feel like our cultural artifacts are actually reflective of a deeper truth of reality, and that the continuous refinement, not replacement or addition, but refinement of the choices which we grew up with represents that the spirit of truth which governed the addition of those choices to the panopticon of culture was in fact out of its adherence to a greater truth, and that now we perceive that truth more. So he would probably be much happier if a bunch of different kinds of black coffee were available, if it seemed like the option to consume black coffee had been reaffirmed, as though this was a culture that believed in its decision to make black coffee and was not questioning whether or not we should be making milk from soy or eating ice cream at coffee shops, because this reflects indecision, which is a lack of focus that comes from disconnection with truth.
And see that most other people have made the same choice they made. And if over time they see that their own personal preference has become less popular and even worse, is now seen as being basic or unsophisticated, they will perceive the mere existence of those other options as a criticism of them, even if they've never heard anybody voice that criticism.
Again, not really. I think it's more that the other option reflects the fact that the culture believes the initial options to be inadequate to cover the range of possible circumstances that could emerge, which reflects a lack of faith in the principles which precipitated those original options in the first place. I also don't know whether or not those characters are supposed to be lesbians, and whether or not he's implying that like lesbians can't make people.
This is why it's so important for some people to imagine the archetype of the angry vegan. Even though, one, I have never run into one of those people in real life, not even once.
I have run into the angry vegan.
And two, meat statistically is more popular now than it has ever been in the history of the world. There is basic psychological comfort in knowing that you're conforming to what the world wants, and in the reassurance that that world is not going to change. And this is why it doesn't help to simply tell people you can keep doing the thing you were doing. No one's stopping you from drinking your coffee. Because it's not about the coffee. It's the fear that if everybody else stops drinking coffee the way I drink it, then I will become an outcast. And that is scary to someone who suddenly is remembering how they have always treated outcasts.
That to me seems like the hyper-simplified boomer argument. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think it's like, oh, I think it has more to do with the fact that we are our decisions and we want to see the essence of us magnifying across time. And if the decisions that we have made ourselves into are no longer being reinforced by the culture, then we believe that the culture has consumed us and not been subsumed into us.
Oh, he passed out. Oh, not bad. All right, nice triangle. And oh no, he's going after the ref. Hey, buddy. I'm here. That was really nice. Everybody was really nice about that.
Jiu-jitsu is such a wholesome sport, and you also have the option to render people unconscious, which is a beautiful thing, just and brilliant and yummy, and just I love the idea of making people unconscious, or alternatively in making them conscious, which is why I make these videos. Maybe I'm like the switch between conscious and unconscious.